All right, so the NFL playoffs are officially set as of 2 days ago, and so we're going to do my round-by-round prediction for the entire playoffs. I'll do an in-depth prediction of this week's games tomorrow, but let's get into this. So, first game we're going to talk about, you got the Chargers at the Ravens. Baltimore is 2.5-point favorites this one. I'm going to take the Chargers. I just like a quarterback who has a little bit more experience. Baltimore's defense is good, but they also met last time, and the Browns showed us how to contain Lamar Jackson in 1.5 alone. Then you've got Indianapolis going to Houston. Houston a 2-point favorite in this one, and I don't know why. The Colts should take this game easily. Andrew Luck is one of the hottest quarterbacks right now. He's not even in the discussion for MVP when he should be. Definitely going to win Comeback Player of the Year. And honestly, the Texans' O-line just isn't good enough, and the Colts' defense is probably, if not the best defense behind the Bears in the NFL, so I'm going to take the Colts in this one. Now going over to the NFC side, you've got Seattle going to Dallas. Now, of course, the game is in Dallas. It's going to be a big factor, but the Seattle Seahawks are just so good in the playoffs most of the time, and Dallas just isn't. Russell Wilson over Dak. Again, it's a quarterback game. I will take Russell Wilson every single time. If the Cowboys want to win this game, they're going to have to give the ball to Zeke 20 times and get at least 100 yards out of him. And Dak is going to have to stop throwing little dinks and use Amari Cooper. But even though they're the 1.5 favorite, I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one. And the last game of the divisional round, we've got Eagles going to Chicago. Chicago is a 6-point favorite, and I actually love that. I think Chicago will win this game. It's going to be a pretty gritty game, I want to say. You've got Nick Foles starting at quarterback over Carson Wentz. He's been really good for the past couple of weeks, and you got Trubisky on the other side. Honestly, Foles might have been good, but I'm going to take Trubisky as a better quarterback. He's younger, and he's got a better head coach for quarterback. Pat Nagy has been absolutely amazing, and the Bears are the best defense in football, so I'm going to take Chicago in this one. So that takes us to the divisional round. In the AFC side of things, that puts the Chargers going to New England and taking on the Patriots. And then you've also got the Indianapolis Colts going to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Now for the Chargers-Patriots game, I'm also going to take the Chargers in this one. I think the Patriots will probably be about a 5-point favorite since it's in Foxborough. But they have been slowing down lately, and Tom Brady isn't looking like himself. Even Baker Mayfield had a better season than him statistically, and they really need to rely on running the football. And the Chargers defense will take care of that. Doesn't matter if it's in Foxborough, I'm going to take the Chargers for that game. Next, you've got Indianapolis going to Kansas City. And honestly, even though Indianapolis has been on a nice little run lately, I'm going to take the Chiefs, mainly because Patrick Mahomes has been absolutely unstoppable, 50 touchdowns and 5,000 passing yards as well. The game is in Kansas City, one of the hardest places to play, other than, let's say, Foxborough, Heinz Field, Lambeau, and Seattle. And I think that the Chiefs have better offensive weapons. Their defense is not even as close to as good as the Colts, but when you've got that much firepower on the offensive side, you're going to find ways to win. Now if we go to the NFC, you're going to have the Seahawks going to New Orleans to take on the Saints, and as much as I like Seattle, they do not stand a chance. If I had to guess, they'll probably be about a 9-point underdog towards New Orleans. New Orleans has been absolutely unstoppable. Yeah, they had a couple of games. Carolina, they lost, but they were resting their starters, and they had a scare against Carolina. They did lose to Dallas. They almost lost to Pittsburgh. So teams are showing how to slow them down, but they'll be coming off of a bye, and there's enough preparation. Sean Payton, Drew Brees, it'll be fine. And then that means that the Bears are going to LA to play the Rams. Now, big thing here is it's going to be neutral with the crowd. It's a stadium that isn't even done yet, so there could be the same amount of Bears fans as there are LA Rams fans. But here's the big thing. You've got McVay, Goff, and Gurley off of a bye. Gurley will not have played for, I think, 3 weeks, which leaves him extremely rested and also extremely dangerous. You do not want to have a rested running back at his caliber. Even though the Bears defense is good and they did meet earlier in the season, I do think the Rams will take this game. I think Goff and Trubisky, I think Goff edges Trubisky a little bit because he passes the ball a little bit more and he takes a few more risks. But the Bears defense, again, it's the same thing with the Chiefs. The Rams just have so much firepower on offense. You've got 3 star wide receivers, 4 if Cooper Kupp was back. which he's not. You've got a developing tight end, and you also have, of course, Todd Gurley and Sean McVay. So again, I'm going to take the Rams here. If I had to guess, probably a 3.5-point favorite over the Bears. That takes us to the conference round. Now in the AFC, we're going to have the Chargers going to Kansas City in the AFC West showdown. And honestly, the Chiefs, they're good. They're really good. I like what I saw from Patrick Mahomes in his second year. He's looking like a franchise quarterback. He's looking a lot like Brett Favre, where he's gonna make a couple mistakes that drive you nuts. But all quarterbacks do that every once in a while. He just might do a couple more than usual. But Philip Rivers has the experience, and I honestly think the Chargers have the best roster in the NFL overall. It might not translate into the next year, but as of right now, they have the best roster, and their defense is much better than the Chiefs. That's the one Achilles heel to the Chiefs, is that they don't have a really good defense. So if I had to guess, the Chiefs will probably be about a 3.5-point favorite since the game will be in Kansas City, but I'm going to take the Chargers. Chargers advance to the Super Bowl. Now the NFC, you got the 1 and the 2 seed, very entertaining. You got the Rams going to New Orleans. Now this game could possibly either be a shootout or it could be 9-12, 14-13 game. Just because of the fact that the Saints defense has been showing up the past couple of weeks and the Rams defense hasn't. But the Saints offense hasn't really been showing up the last couple of weeks, and the Rams offense has. Especially, I think they'll have a huge game against Chicago in the week prior. I think Todd Gurley could possibly rush for 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think Goff could probably throw 3. I think they're both coming off of rest weeks. And honestly, I like McVay as the head coach, the better head coach here. I know Sean Payton has the experience, but when you mix Peyton, Breeze, Kamara, Michael Thomas, and that front 7 of the Saints going against the Rams, I mean, the Rams, they were beat by Philadelphia and Chicago. Like, that alone should tell you that the Saints are going to win this game. Probably, if I had to guess, 4.5-point favorites, especially since the game is in New Orleans. So that sets the stage for the Super Bowl. You've got the Chargers versus the Saints. And the big thing for me is depth and roster depth. And the thing is, you've got 2 really experienced quarterbacks. You've got 2 very clever head coaches. I think Sean Payton's the better coach. But in the end, I think that the Chargers have the better roster. Just think about it. The Saints, they don't have anything more than Michael Thomas as their main threat on the offensive side, of course, besides Kamara. But the Chargers, they have 3 really good wide receivers. They'll probably have Hunter Henry back by this point, which will be another target that the Saints will have to deal with. And the Chargers defense is just that much better of the Saints. They have Defensive Rookie of the Year, Derwin James. And honestly, their secondary and their cornerbacks have been stepping up this season. Joey Bosa coming off the edge rush. And their linebacking core has really stepped up compared to last season. So I think the Chargers will take this. I do think the Saints will be about a 6.5-point favorite in this game. But I have the Chargers winning the Super Bowl. So Chargers defeat the Ravens, defeat the Patriots, defeat the Chiefs, and then defeat the Saints. Probably the hardest road in the playoffs in my playoff picture. But there you guys go. For me, I have the Chargers winning it. Now, for tomorrow's video, I will be doing a week-by-week playoff prediction. This week, of course, being divisional round week, I'll be going more in-depth into the Chargers, Ravens, Colts, Texans, Seahawks, Cowboys, and Philadelphia, Chicago games. And then on Thursday, I will be doing a little surprise for you guys. So, if you guys do or do not agree with that, let me know. But yeah, I got the Chargers taking it.